Welcome to Debutante Renegade. On today's show, I'm going to be talking about tips for dating on a dating app. This was a requested topic from one of my followers. So let's jump right into it. I think that it's really important if you're on a dating app to set your parameters correctly. You get to choose the region, the age, some kind of general things. Most apps have that where you can pick like an age range, like a height range, a geographical range. I think it's really important first and foremost that you set your parameters correctly for what it is that you want. If you know that you're not going to be driving 30 miles to see somebody, then don't set your parameters that far. If you know that you can't be attracted to somebody under 5'6" or over 6'4" or whatever, set your parameters to that. Just make sure that you're being real with yourself. Know what it is you want and set the parameters accordingly. You can change as needed. I know for me, the main thing that I would change from time to time is age. Sometimes I started with a much shorter age range, and as I was on dating apps, I kind of expanded it to a bit younger and a bit older. When I started on the apps, I didn't think that I would want to date anyone in their 20s, but I did expand it to include that. And I did date somebody who was in their 20s. Didn't work out, but it was still fun, and I don't regret having done that. At the end of the day, I guess I did end up, my current boyfriend is in that original age range that I wanted. So take that with what you will. Maybe I should have kept it small, but I think it's nice to have an open mind, and you never know if somebody's younger or older. You just never know. There are old souls and there are Peter Pans. And by Peter Pan, I mean there's a lot of men out there, especially in Los Angeles, who are still living like they're kids, even though they're in their 50s. They still kind of act like boys in a lot of ways. We call them Peter Pans. So set your parameters correctly. Make sure that is what you want. Tip number 1. Another thing to consider if you do match with someone, when you match with somebody and it seems like they're giving you the idea that maybe they're just looking for a hookup, or they're, being a little sexual or sending you pictures or anything like that, and if that's not what you're looking for, then you just get out of it right away. If they start steering the conversation in a kind of overly flirty direction for somebody you don't know, then just abandon ship. Unless that's what you're looking for, of course. But I would say don't waste your time with people like that, because there are a lot of people that are just there to hook up. And even if you put, again, with setting your parameters, you with most of these dating apps, you can put if you're looking for something casual, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, if you're looking for marriage, whatever. And yet somehow, even if you set your parameters to a long-term relationship or marriage, some of these people come in just trying to find a hookup. And I don't know why they're doing that. I guess they set their parameters as broad as they can and, cast a wide net, right? So, but I would encourage anyone, if that's not what you're looking for, get away from those people quickly. And again, set your parameters for exactly what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. Are you looking for a hookup, a short relationship, a long relationship, a marriage? Put that in your parameters. Put that in your profile. Put your cards on the table. Be honest. That's how you can get what you want. And of course, with the hookup thing, that should be obvious that if somebody's reaching out and saying those things, but I think sometimes it can be confusing, especially if you're new on these things, new on an app. You might think somebody's just being flirty, but they might just be trying to hook up. So abandon ship, unless you want it. So another thing, and I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos, I recommend not spending a lot of time texting or speaking on the phone with someone before you've met in person. So if you have not met in person, Don't spend a lot of time having text conversations back and forth, messaging each other in the app or talking on the phone. Keep those interactions brief, chat enough to get a sense if you like this person or if they're even worth meeting. Really, all you need to do is establish whether or not you think the person is worth meeting. If you're not sure, maybe dig a little deeper, but if you're still not sure, then probably they're not a good fit, abandon ship. If you figure out that yes, this person does seem worth meeting, then set a date. Don't spend a long time back and forth. And if they're trying to bait you with that, with lots of texting or phone conversations, consider that a red flag, because a truly balanced and healthy, secure person is not going to be investing a ton of time in somebody they haven't met yet. And if you want a balanced, healthy, secure relationship, then you should do the same. Don't invest too much in someone you haven't met yet. And I say this from having such experience. I consistently did that too much, where I spent too much time having long text conversations back and forth for days, weeks, whatever, or phone conversations, really establishing a relationship before meeting the person in real life. And it never, ever ended up being a good thing. And the person that I was doing with never ended up being the right fit. They always were a kind of narcissistic, out of balance person. So I can't stress that highly enough. Like, as soon as it seems like the person is worth meeting in real life, then just set a date and don't spend a long time interacting with them. Keep your interactions brief and about your plan. Which leads me to the next one. So keep it brief, make a plan, and then for a first meet, obviously, this should be obvious. Make sure you meet someplace public. Don't invite them to your house. Don't go to their house. Meet someplace public. I recommend something like a coffee, a tea, a drink, a cocktail, a beer, whatever, a glass of wine, something like that. Just like meet for a drink, not a dinner, not a meal, nothing elaborate, nothing more serious, something very casual, like a coffee, a drink. Meet for something like that first, something that, will, at shortest would be half an hour, longest couple hours, and keep it to that. If within the first half an hour, if you know that this person is a no, then get out, just say, hey, it was really nice meeting you. I gotta go, and get out. And if you're having a great time and the conversation is going and you're so attracted to this person, keep it at 2 hours. Once it gets to the 2 hour mark, time to get out of there. It might be tempting to stay longer, but you don't know if you're ever going to see that person again. So you just want to be careful how much you invest in a stranger. There are people on these apps who you will go have a drink with, who you have a wonderful time with, and it seems like they're into you and you're into them. And at the end of the night, they're like, oh, let's do this again. I want to see you again. And then bam, you never hear from them again. This happens. This is something that people on these apps do. Therefore, don't ever spend more than 2 hours, because you don't know. It might seem like this is a trustworthy, good person, but you don't know them. So don't give them more than 2 hours. Even if you're tempted. If your date goes 2 hours and you're having a wonderful time and there are sparks flying and you're obviously attracted to this person and they are obviously attracted to you and you guys are already talking about how you want to see each other again, whatever, or there's just an attraction and you're having fun and it's there, I don't recommend doing more than having a kiss. Like, say you go for a drink, say you have a couple drinks, like whatever, it's nighttime, they offer to take you home, whatever. No, don't do it. Just get out on your own. At most, I wouldn't recommend more than a kiss, even if you're wildly attractive, for the same reason that you want to keep it at 2 hours. Because once again, there are a lot of these people, they might kiss you, they might make out with you, they might do more, and then bam, you'll never hear from them again. So I recommend nothing more than a kiss on the first date. Now, when I'm saying these things, let there be a precursor where you do you, like whatever. If you want to have a one night stand, do it. If you want to do more than, then have a kiss on your first date, then do it. I'm talking about having these parameters to protect one's feelings. Like if you're looking to find more or less a long-term steady relationship and protect your feelings in the process on these dating apps, these are the ways, these are the tools that took me a couple of years to procure in my dating journey. This is how I figured out how to best protect myself and find what I was looking for when I was on dating apps. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As per usual, you do you, honor yourself, whatever feels right for you. And if you like sleeping with somebody on a first date or doing something more, then do it, as long as you know how to protect yourself, then do what feels right for you. But my recommendation is not to do anything more than kiss for the sake of protecting your feelings. That way you don't create a bond with somebody and have all this hope that it might go one direction and then you never hear from them again. So to protect yourself, nothing more than a kiss. Another recommendation I have while on these apps is I recommend not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. If you connect with somebody and they are on paper everything you've ever wanted, and you have a date, or you've been on one date and it was amazing and you just can't wait to see this person again, that's great, wonderful. However, I recommend continuing to match and talk with people and set dates until somebody gives you a real concrete reason not to. If you meet somebody and they are showing you that they have a real interest in you and they are wanting to make plans with you and see you over and over again, and then you have a discussion about whether or not you're still exploring other people on the side, or still exploring other people in general, then you cross that bridge. But unless somebody gives you a reason, unless somebody is wanting to make date after date after date with you, then keep your options open. Keep matching with people, keep having conversations with people, brief ones, remember, keep making plans, brief ones, remember, but keep doing that. So you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because I think a lot of us, I know for me, I'm wired in a way that I'm monogamous. And if I match with somebody and they seem like they're what I'm looking for, and we go on one date, I might start fantasizing or imagining that I'm going to be with that person, but that's preemptive and I'm jumping the gun, and it's dangerous to think that way, because then if it doesn't work out, you get hurt. And so often, most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it's not going to work out. I think that would be another piece of advice I could give anybody. Most of the time, it's not going to work out. It's going to not work out until it does on these dating apps. So just expect to be disappointed, expect to be let down. And then when you meet somebody who doesn't disappoint or who doesn't let you down, then, that's something to begin to be cautiously optimistic about, begin to be cautiously excited about. Again, always with the caution. Tread carefully. Don't get in over your head. Don't get too excited too early, too soon. Make sure that your excitement is warranted, is backed by this person clearly wants to keep seeing you and they're taking an initiative and they're making plans. Another thing that I think needs to be mentioned is keep it cool. Keep it light. Don't get too heady, heavy, serious on these dating apps. When you don't know somebody, if you start getting overly emotional or heavy or serious with somebody, it's a turn off. People pull away from that. It's weird. It's too soon. You don't know each other. You're not intimate yet. You save that for people you're intimate with. Save that for close friends, close people, for partners, whatever. Family, don't bring that to people on a dating app that you don't know yet. Don't bring them heaviness. Keep it light. Be cool, be light, be easy, be fun. Just keep it light and expect the same from other people. And if they're getting heavy and strange, then they probably have an imbalance of some kind. They're probably not a healthy person, because again, a healthy, secure connection is going to keep it light. And as they get to know you, they'll let you in more. And When you let people in more, then you can get deeper, more heavy, speak your truth more. And of course, I think you should always speak your truth. But what I mean is sometimes, it's best to just be polite and keep things casual, keep them light. You don't always need to tell somebody the worst thing you've ever done in your life or your deepest, darkest secrets right away. You can save that. You can save some of the aspects of yourself for as you get to know each other. So yeah, be cool, be light, be fun, be funny, keep it cool, and expect the same in a person. And if they're not, drop them. This is a recommendation I'm going to make that, once again, this is one of those things where if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you do you. Now, this applies to heterosexual relationships. I don't have enough experience in same-sex relationships to comment on how this dynamic would work in same-sex relationships. I'm actually, when I think about it, I'm super curious, and I'd like to know if you happen to be in a same-sex relationship or have dated on these apps in a same-sex relationship. I would love more than anything for you to comment on this next part in the comments and illuminate me. But this next thing I'm going to say applies if you're heterosexual. Women, heterosexual women, straight women, let the man come to you. Let him come to you. I know this is like that classic thing, like the game or whatever, but don't do it in a way that's like a game. You don't trick the guy, but I think it's really important as a woman to let a man come to you, to not chase after them. Like, you can choose your man, you can decide who it is you want to be with, but let him pursue you. I think, from my experience, when women chase after men, it comes across, and it's not fair. This is totally a double standard. It's totally not fair, but I feel like it comes across as, more desperate or imbalanced when a woman really pursues a guy. I know for me, when I really pursued a guy, it never works out. It's always best if the guy comes after me and pursues me. And there's something to letting somebody come after you and pursue you. And I think there's a nature in men, the way that they're wired, they like the hunt. They like the pursuit. Men are more ingrained in their egos than women are. And the ego likes a chase. The ego likes somebody that's hard to get. So it's not so much that you're playing a game, but you're just allowing these inherent dynamics to play themselves out. You're sort of honoring yourself as a human being. You're honoring, if you're a heterosexual female, you're honoring that. And if you're a heterosexual male, pursue a woman if you like her. Don't wait for her to come to you. Don't try not to be shy. Let her come to you. And of course, these standards can be broken, and there are dynamics where the woman has pursued the man and it's worked out and they've been happily ever after, whatever. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I'm speaking in general terms. I've seen it consistently work out better when the woman has been chill and let the guy come to her. And for me, I've chased after so many guys, and I've seen how it's panned out in the relationship I'm in right now. I let my boyfriend come to me. I let him pursue me. I played it cool. And it's not because that's not who I am, but I learned from being on these apps that the right person for me is going to be interested in me. They're going to want to make plans with me. They're going to want to see me again. So that's the thing. If you want to know if he's into you, then let him come to you. Let him pursue you. Let him ask you out. Let him desire you and want to see you. And play it that way. Don't go chasing after him and pursuing him and begging him to hang out, or trying to make the plans with him. Let him instigate. Let him come after you. I feel like it just makes a much better relationship and attraction for men and women. It's always worked out better for me that way. And again, I'm certain there are exceptions to this, but in general, I find this to be true. So take it if you're a woman and you really want to pursue a guy, do it, see how it works out. But if you keep doing it and it's not working for you, then I encourage you to try this. Take a step back, be cool, let him come to you. If he's not coming to you, if he's not making plans with you, he's not interested. So find somebody else. You're barking up the wrong tree. That's the thing. I think that's the importance of letting somebody come to you. If somebody likes you, they will ask you out. They will want to see you. If they're not asking you out, if they don't want to see you, then they're not interested. So you don't have to chase after them, and guys, if you're asking her out and she's always busy or she's got plans or this and that, she's probably not interested. Move on. Go find that girl who says yes and wants to see you too. So that's my advice there. Like I said before, men, if you're interested in her, pursue her, ask her out, make plans, try to see her as much as you can, as much as, while playing it cool, make a plan with her, ask her out. And if she's interested, she will say yes. And if she keeps having excuses and she's too busy, move on. Another important thing is when you are on your first date, your first coffee date, drink date, whatever, make sure you ask the other person what it is that they're looking for. You're all on a dating app. What are you looking for? Are you looking to have fun? Are you looking for marriage? Do you want to have a family? You want to have kids? How many kids? Do you want to keep living here? Ask the important questions. Find out what that person wants out of life and make sure that works for you. If they don't ever want to get married and they don't ever want to have children and that's what you want, then already, keep that one of those half-an-hour dates. That's not what you're looking for. And hopefully you could have hashed that out even before going out. Hopefully their profile, shows what they're into. But people change their minds and sometimes their profiles are old. And I think it's still really good no matter what someone's profile says. Don't assume that that's where they're at. Always ask them. Make sure, double check. Don't waste your time. So always find out what that person is looking for, what type of relationship, what type of life, whether or not they want children or have children or whatever, just find out what it is that they want and tell them what it is that you're looking for. Make sure that they know what it is that you want, what you're looking for. Because if you tell them what you're looking for and they want to see you again, then they have, a responsibility. You can assume that that's what they want too. And if they don't later on, then they were irresponsible. But I recommend saying what you want, asking what they want, being really clear on those things, making sure that those things line up. And if they don't line up, move on. Finally, I think it's really important to say that when you're on these apps, be safe, be careful, be smart, meet in public places, protect yourself, don't give away too much personal information. Just, be careful, be smart. It's also important to be a good communicator. Be honest. If somebody asks you a question, answer it honestly, even if you think it might not be what they're looking for, what they want to hear. Be honest. Don't pretend to be a vegan if you're not, or don't pretend to like that or think it's cool if you don't. Be yourself. At the end of the day, the right person for you is somebody who's going to accept you as you are. And if somebody doesn't like you the way that you are, don't pretend to be any different. So be yourself, be honest. Communicate as best you can. Don't take shit personally on a dating app. If you make a plan with somebody and they bail on you, don't take it personally. It's not your fault. They have bad manners or something happened in their life. If you go on a date with somebody, you had a great time and they told you they want to see you again and then you never hear from them again and they ghost, don't take it personally. It's not you, it's them. They're shitty. So don't take things personally. Most of the time on these apps, it's not anything you did. People just act these ways. Now, if you got too drunk and you threw up on their shoes, yeah, it's you. It's what you did. Own it, be better next time. But for the most part, the way people act in these dating apps, don't take it personally. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. people are just shitty. So good luck with that. With the don't take it personally thing, just know too that some people are going to like you and some people aren't. And that's life. You're going to like some people and you're not going to like others. And if somebody doesn't like you, don't take it personally. It's just, you're not their cup of tea and you don't know why they don't like you. It might not be your hair color, your weight, your skin color, your lips, your height, the way you dress, your job, any of these things. You never know. It might just be a chemistry thing, or, maybe it's the way you smell, your perfume. Like, who knows what it is? You never know. And maybe it is your hair. And if somebody doesn't like you based on your hair color, do you even want to be with that person? That's like silly and weird. So don't take it personally. You're going to like some people. You're not going to like others. Some people are going to like you. Others aren't. There's always going to be somebody better looking, smarter, cooler. And there's always going to be somebody uglier, dumber, lamer. So just know that. No, that applies to all of us, and it doesn't do any good to compare ourselves to others. We are what we are, and the person who's meant for us, the person who's right for us, is going to see us for all that we are and love us for all that we are, and we're going to do the same for them. So I wish you the best of luck out there. I know it's brutal. It's rough, it's hard, but it can be fun, it can be exciting, it can be rewarding, and you never know, you can meet your person that way. So if that's what you're trying to do, then I wish that for you. I hope these tips are helpful. I hope these can help anyone who's been struggling in the online dating world. I hope you can practice some of these tips and have a better experience with that. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Please give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Have a beautiful rest of your day.